Welcome to PAB 2011.
My jolt only is about 3.5 minutes, so I have about 1.5 minutes to play with. And because we're post-lunch, I do see some people where the energy's kind of low. I see some people falling asleep. Oh, sorry, some people falling asleep. That's better? Okay. So I want to actually have you guys stand up during my jolt. Except unless you've got some reason for, like physically he can't. I totally get that. But anyone who can stand up, please stand up. And because, I want you guys to be part of this and all that jazz. So, and this is also kind of, who is it, Tom? Tom? Yeah, Tom's, where's Tom? Tom. We have a Tom Merritt. Where's Tom Merritt? Who's doing? Tom. Okay, so Tom, I see your session is called you're showing your top 5 ways to engage your audience. This is the way I'm engaging my audience here, partially. So.
Well, I'm at 4 now.
Right on. So, okay. So there's a war going on. But I'm not talking about the war in Afghanistan, or I'm not talking about the war in Iraq. I'm not talking about the war in Libya, or even the war that's been going on way longer than all those that almost nobody knows anything about, the war in the Congo. I'm talking about a war that, on the one hand, has people who are filthy rich and want to get filthy richer, and don't care how many people or how much of the planet gets destroyed along the way. And on the other hand, people who care deeply about the planet and its people. Now, the front lines of this war are the young people protesting on the streets of Egypt and Tunisia and Syria, the shattered lives and the shattered dikes of people in Katrina's New Orleans, on the front lawn of every house that has a foreclosure sign on it, in the deafening silence of every Canadian public servant who's afraid of losing their job, in the hearts of every low-income person who's trying to figure out, do I pay for heat or do I pay for food? And yeah, in the post-traumatic, stressful disorder of all the people living and dying in the oil wars of Iraq and Libya. Now we mostly see signs of this war when something or someone explodes. And the mainstream media, including the CBC, decides it's an important story to tell or to sell. But the thing is, there are lots and lots of stories that don't get told, that happen before the explosion. And every story that gets ignored builds the pressure on people to the point that they explode, or some of them explode. And they take everything and everyone with them. In the 1960s, mild-mannered, nonviolent Nelson Mandela, of all people, and his fellow ANC members exploded and started blowing up things, not people. After years and years of futile efforts at trying to get the South African government to stop or to dismantle its violently oppressive and fabulously profitable system of apartheid. In 1990, the Mohawks of Kanasatagi exploded when the town of Oka tried to build a golf course on their sacred burial ground. In April 2001, Quebec City exploded into a screaming cloud of tear gas, rocks, riot police, and FTAA protesters. In the summer of 2009, young people exploded and burned 317 cars in the suburbs of France, not over a hockey game, I might add, but to protest high unemployment and the death of one of their own at the hands of police. And right now, young people all over the Middle East who are dying to vote are exploding the myth of their own powerlessness. So why am I jolting you with this, you may ask? Well, I think that all of us here who have the privilege of being middle class in Canada and have the skills to tell stories for all the world to hear should help people who are not given a voice learn to tell their own stories. And I think we should do this for 2 reasons. One is it's the right thing to do, and 2 is it's in our own interest. It's in our own interest because I think it's only a matter of time before the pressure on the people being squeezed the most builds to the point where they decide they have nothing left to lose and nothing left to do but explode. Right? Now, we could do nothing, but there's something about these explosions. Right? They're not caused by smart bombs. They're dumb and they're blind. They don't care, they don't know, or they don't care whether you're rich or poor, friend or foe, left or right, or black or white. Right? They just blow, right? So what can you do? Well, you can help release the pressure by helping people to learn to tell their own stories, because the bottom line is what people care about the most isn't money and it isn't power. It's about telling their stories and having their stories be heard. And you can help them do that. You can volunteer your time with an independent media organization that helps people to tell their own stories, or you can give money to organizations like that. Either way would be time or money well spent. Now, I got you. Now, look, I understand, I get it that these days we all carry a heavy load and that our free time is under heavy, heavy erosion. But the fact is, we all have one simple question to ask ourselves. Are you going to be part of the solution or part of the explosion? Thank you.